Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're doing a clear head-to-head. Grok 4.5 versus Claude Opus 4.8. Not hype slides. Not fan wars. A practical breakdown so you know which model to use for which job in 2026. The AI model wars just got interesting again. SpaceX AI launched Grok 4.5 and called it Opus class. Faster, more token efficient, and lower cost. On the other side sits Claude Opus 4.8, Anthropic's flagship for serious coding, long agents, and enterprise work. If you're building products right now, this choice hits your speed, your quality, and your bill. Let's break it down. First, why this matchup actually matters. A year ago, which AI is best felt like a vibe check. Today, it's a budget decision. These models write production code. They run agents for hours. They touch legal docs, finance files, and multi-service refactors. Pick wrong and you ship slower and spend more. Two companies, two philosophies. SpaceX AI is pushing Grok hard on speed, cost, and real engineering tasks, and they trained Grok 4.5 with Cursor, which tells you exactly where their head is at. Anthropic is doubling down on reliability, judgment, honesty, and big agentic workflows, dynamic multi-agent runs, effort controls, and the I trust this in production vibe. This isn't chatbot A versus chatbot B. This is tooling for how you ship software. Alright, Grok 4.5. Announced around July 8, 2026. SpaceX AI calls it their smartest model yet for coding, agentic tasks, and knowledge work. Here are the claims that matter on screen. Trained for real engineering, not just quiz show benchmarks. Served at roughly 80 tokens per second. Flash model speed with flagship ambition. Roughly 2 times more token efficient than leading models on comparable tasks. On SWE Bench Pro, they report Grok finishing with about 4.2 times fewer output tokens than Opus 4.8 at max effort. Price: $2 per million input tokens, $6 per million output tokens. That pricing alone is a grenade. Grok 4.5 is available in Grok Build, in Cursor on all plans, and via the API as Grok 4.5. There's a limited free trial window in Grok Build and Cursor if you want to test without burning budget. One caveat. As of launch, EU availability was delayed. If you're in Europe, check the console before you rewrite your stack. What Grok is selling you emotionally is simple. We're fast. We're cheap. We're trained on real coding workflows. Stop overpaying for tokens. And honestly, that's a compelling pitch in 2026. Now, Claude Opus 4.8. Anthropic shipped this May 28, 2026. Same price as Opus 4.7. $5 input, $25 output per million tokens. Fast mode exists up to about 2.5 times speed, but you pay a premium, $10 and $50. Opus 4.8 wasn't marketed as a brand new universe. Anthropic literally called it a modest but tangible improvement. What shipped with it is more interesting than the version number. First, effort control. You dial how hard Claude thinks. Low for quick stuff. High or max for gnarly multi-hour agent jobs. Second, dynamic workflows in Claude code. Plan big work. Spin up hundreds of parallel subagents, verify, and report back. Think code-based scale migrations. Third, honesty and judgment. Early testers and Anthropic's own eval say it's less likely to bluff, roughly 4 times less likely than the prior Opus to let code flaws slide without calling them out. Partners across coding agents, legal tools, and finance tools praised reliability for unattended work. The emotional pitch is clear. When it has to be right and you can't babysit every step, use Opus. Okay, numbers time. And I'm going to be careful, benchmarks are weapons, not gospel. Different harnesses, different effort settings, different max modes. Still, the public numbers paint a real picture. DeepSWE 1.0, Grok 4.5 at 62%, Opus 4.8 max at about 55.8. Grok wins that one. DeepSWE 1.1, Opus Max at 59, Grok at 53. Opus takes it back. SWE Marathon. Pass at 1. Grok 29. Opus 26. Slight Edge Grok. Terminal Bench 2.1. Grok 83.3. Opus 78.9. Grok. SWE Bench Pro. Opus 69.2. Grok 64.7. Opus. So if someone tells you Grok destroys Opus or Opus free wins forever, they're lying with selective charts. The real story, they trade blows. Grok looks extremely strong on several engineering agent benches and smokes on efficiency. Opus still posts higher on key pro coding benches and brings the enterprise agent story Anthropic has refined for a year. This is where a lot of teams make the wrong call. Cost. Sticker price. Grok 4.5 at $2 and $6. Opus 4.8 at $5 and $25. Opus Fast Mode at $10 and $50. Already a huge gap. But the hidden bill is tokens per task. XA.I claims Grok solves SWE Bench Pro tasks with about 16,000 average output tokens versus about 67,000 for Opus at max, about 4.2 times fewer tokens. Even if you discount marketing by 30%, the direction is clear. Grok is engineered to spend less to finish. And at 80 tokens per second, wall clock time drops too. Faster loops. More iterations per hour. When does Opus still justify the bill? High-stakes correctness, legal, finance, production migrations you can't redo. Long unattended agent runs where judgment beats raw speed. Teams already deep in Claude code and dynamic workflows. And any case where good enough and cheap would cost you a production incident. Price is not quality. But paying Opus prices for Grok tier tasks is leaving money on the table. Let me make this practical. Pick Grok 4.5 when you live in Cursor or Grok build all day. Need high-volume coding and feature spikes. Care about cost per PR and tokens per task. Want strong office-style knowledge, work with a coding model, and can review output quickly. Pick Opus 4.8 when you run multi-hour or multi-agent jobs that must not go off the rails, need the model to push back and flag uncertainty, are all in on Claude code dynamic workflows, work in regulated or high-trust verticals, or want that senior collaborator feel with effort dials. Hybrid is what smart teams actually do. Grok for volume, draft, and speed. Opus for final review, hard architecture, and the 10% of tasks that scare you. That's not fence-sitting. That's how you buy AI like an adult. So, who wins? If win means intelligence per dollar and speed of iteration, Grok 4.5. It was built for that fight, priced for that fight, and the efficiency numbers are the plot twist. If win means maximum trust on gnarly, long-horizon agent work, Opus 4.8 still owns a real lane, especially if your team already runs on Claude's ecosystem. The industry wants a single king. 2026 reality. Two different apex predators. Grok 4.5 is the disruptor, Opus-class ambition at a price that forces everyone else to answer. Opus 4.8 is the refined operator, slower wallet, stronger. I slept fine while the agent ran energy. My recommendation. 1. Run your repo through both on 3 hard tasks. 2. Measure tokens, time, and how many human fixes you needed. 3. Pick a default and keep the other as a specialist. That's the only benchmark that pays your rent. If this helped you cut through the launch hype, subscribe, drop a comment with which model you're standardizing on, and tell me what head-to-head you want next, coding agents, research, or multimodal. Official Grok 4.5 and Opus 4.8 posts are linked in the description. Build smart. Ship faster. Don't overpay for ego. See you in the next one.